Hello everyone and welcome to Lipnox SQ, the show focused on the games, applications, and tech demos released on SideQuest for the Oculus Quest Virtual Reality headset. On today's episode we have an amazing snowboarding experience, a remix on Brick Breaker for VR, and tons more. Let's take a look. Hand Tracking Interaction Demonstration by Interhaptics is a game that you're using your hands as a steering wheel and moving around the course, knocking over boxes, and it's just a test to show what you can do with hand tracking. But of all the hand tracking demonstrations that is in the demonstration, the one with the driving around is the most impressive, and I would love to see someone take this concept and make a full level editor so we can build our own tracks, have little goals, maybe jumps. But I think that it shows a great promise for an idea that could be implemented down the road. Unknown Territory is a game by David he did for a school project. Now, I love what he's done so far, but there needs to be some extra work put into the care, because when you drop the mirrors down, they seem to turn a little bit, so it's hard to aim them correctly. And it seems like once you get into the maze part, you get too far away and they despawn, and then you get closer back up and they re-drop again. And honestly, for me, the biggest hurdle was the teleportation. Consistently gets you disoriented in the maze, and I tried my best, but after a point I couldn't do it anymore. Please add smooth locomotion and we'll go from there, but I think it's a great start and some of the visuals are absolutely gorgeous. Now, Chuckum Bowling is basically a bowling game that doesn't work. You have two bowling balls, you throw them, they lose momentum before they get to the end, and it just the area looks beautiful, but the core bowling isn't working properly, so I mean, what do you do with that? You get both, even when you do throw the two pins, the game is broken and then you have to exit the game and restart the game to even bowl again. So it feels like a developer that at this point really just doesn't care. And it's unfortunate because I would love an amazing SideQuest bowling game, and there's one in the Carnival experience that's kind of cool, but for the most part it's the same thing, where every time I download these bowling games, you start playing them and it loses momentum after about 3 feet and then just slowly curls at the end, and it's a good start, but unless you have that core physics down, I really don't think that the graphics and everything else really matter. Now, the head position locomotion for Quake is a new control method where where you're pointing your body towards your head affects how quickly you're moving with the analog stick, and it's supposed to reduce motion sickness. You can also bounce your head upwards to do jumps, and honestly, at first I didn't even understand what it was supposed to be doing. Continuously seems to shift you to the left, and I mean, the jumping is kind of neat, so I'll say the jumping works, but for the rest of it, as just a test on the controls, like was requested from the SideQuest page, I think it needs a lot of work before it's something that I am truly that excited about. The one upside, if you have the full Quake installed from the other version, it does load in that full version. VRteka Art Museum by VRtim is an art museum where basically you go in, there's a school, you see the classroom, you pick up your headset thing, and that just creeped me right out because at the start you start off in like a jail or insane asylum or something. It's extremely creepy feeling, and I was thinking maybe it's gonna be a horror game or something snuck into this. You go into the classroom, which immediately takes you into the art gallery. There's only one art picture you can actually go into further. Now, the art that goes into this room is absolutely gorgeous, but there's nothing really to do. It's a smart showcase of a starting point, but I want to see a full art gallery. I want to see more art to look at. I want to see information on the art. It seems like this is very bare bones, but there's promise here, and I'd like to see what happens. Now, the public speaking experiment unfortunately really doesn't work very well. The audio cuts out quite quickly, and while the visuals on the character models is nice, you're not even in a full 360 situation. You're literally a head that is stuck to a body, and you can move around the head and see your body as you turn around, but you can't move around, and You know, the hands are kind of working, but it feels like the start of something, and it's such a basic start that I don't know why it was released in this state. Now, Slowp is an amazing snowboarding game that I've really had a great time playing. You have basically free reins to do whatever you want. You're using your two hands at your side to steer the snowboard, and it feels really responsive. It feels extremely fun to do, and I love this game. It's so much fun to play. You can do your own tricks by spinning in the air. There's a full music player on the snowboard. You can change tracks. He's picked out a ton of really good songs for this. You can play pause. There's different mountains. He's snuck in little secret areas to go into. And in terms of snowboarding games for VR, I think this is the template that people need to be using going forward. He's done an excellent job, and I really can't wait to see what BunnyJoker adds to this going forward. Please support this game. It's an awesome game. You have to check it out. Now, BangSquash is basically Brick Breaker in VR. Now, it looks fantastic, but the physics still need work with the ball disappearing or randomly bouncing back in my face when it shouldn't be. And far too often I found it just kind of bouncing all over the place and not coming back to me. There is an alternate control option. You can freeze the ball so you can aim your shot better, but it really wasn't clear to me whether or not it was better to be swinging and hitting the ball, or if I was to be just blocking and sending it back like you would think in a Brick Breaker or Pong type game. Now, I think it's a fantastic start, but for $3, I cannot recommend this in its current state. I really hope there's great updates and I can come back to you and say this is awesome, but I really gotta ask the developer there, you have to have a demo. Give us one stage in the demo. Give people a taste of what the full game is. Unfortunately, for $3, no one else is going to play this, and I can't recommend anyone to play it for $3. It could get abandoned. This could be what it is, and I'd love to see it expanded on further, but you need a demo. You need to have a demo. Now, TruckMarks VR is actually a game for the Oculus Go. Now, the developer doesn't have a Quest, but when I did request one, he did make a Quest version. Unfortunately, it just loads up in a black screen. Now, his original version for the Go still loads up on the Quest, perfectly fine for the menu screen, but it doesn't go, when you press the buttons, it just doesn't move any further, so you're basically stuck. And, you know, if it's possible to get this running, I would love it. It really seems like the Go version would run. For whatever reason, it's not accepting the controller inputs, so that needs to be figured out. But I would love to try this game out if it does get that support later on. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching. That was Lipnox SQ, episode 4. We're going to have a new episode next Monday, and I'm going to keep this coming. Keep this going, keep it on. We're going to cover all sorts of new experiences. Developers, keep releasing the games, keep updating the games, and I'll keep checking them out. This is Lipnox out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a nice day.